Hey, y'all vibe with me. Okay, so we're gonna go on and get into it. Hi everyone. Let me make sure my camera is right. Okay. We are live. We are live. I got 1 minute and then we're gonna get started. Tonight is gonna be a very, very good topic. With everything that's going on in the universe, right? Tonight's topic is right on point and it's going to be a very, very good subject. So soon as I see 7 p.m. my time and I just saw it, we're going to get started. So let me go on and get started. Let me introduce myself. So I'm Zandra Sexton Holmes, the owner and CEO of Explore Blue Travel. We curate epic experiences for women of color who are busy and successful. However, you do not have the time nor energy to plan amazing getaways, and we transform you to relax, relieve, and revive. We host group trips all across the country, whereas you can just come and be you. That's it. So this right here actually segues into tonight's topic, which is so powerful, and hopefully it will transform you. So the subject is celebrate your roots, your top destinations to connect with your African heritage. Now, I'm gonna play a little icebreaker because I love icebreakers. So can you tell me what has been circulating on social media, on the internet, probably in the family chat, the group me, what is it, Telegram, whatever, right? Some of everybody probably has been talking about what happened, what transpired over this past weekend, right? And this ties well into our topic tonight because I just wanted to have a conversation with you so that we can really talk. Okay. Is that okay with y'all? I feel like y'all are my people, that I can be me because I'm not going to be nobody else, and that y'all can be you and we can just talk, right? And tonight's topic is so powerful because it involves like so many different levels. And most people can see it, and then some people can't, right? Some people still lost, probably is unmoved, and they don't know like actually what went on and what's happening. So once you join the live, if you could do me a big favor and let me know where you're watching from. So hashtag the city, the state that you're watching from. I love to see where my viewers are at so I can shout you out. And I also do random free gifts. So if you actually drop it in the chat, you never know. You might get blessed with a gift. Then, if you happen to miss this and you catch it on replay, make sure you hashtag replay because I want to make sure that you was able to hear tonight's topic because it is going to be so, so phenomenal. Okay. So I think I got a comment. Okay. And I'm gonna look at the comment to see. Okay. So somebody's in Maine. So shout out Maine. Shout out Maine. So as you probably have saw on social media, as you probably have seen, on your text message or in your emails, there was a series of events that has been going on. But the one that I'm actually talking about was the one that actually happened in Alabama, okay, in Montgomery, Alabama. And it involved an incident that basically erupted the whole scene and a lot of people got involved, right? So this Black security guard was basically telling the boat owner or the boat driver that he could not actually put his platoon boat in that place. And when the man proceeds to approach him once he gets off the boat, he basically swings on the Black guy. And then from there, now you see all the memes on the internet and all the talk is about that. So that's big on so many different levels, right? Because if you know any of the history of Alabama, you know what our ancestors and people before us has went through and what has happened, right? So it was like this one event kind of congregated and brought us all together in unity to actually support and to help that one security guard who was basically just trying to do his job. And because he was trying to do his job, he was challenged, and it led to the series of events and the things that you're seeing on social media. So tonight's topic is about celebrating your roots to top destinations to connect with your African heritage. Now, let me let you know who I am a little bit more, because you might be like, okay, well, what gives you the authority or the expertise to talk about this? So let me give you a little bit of my background. I am the company, Explorable Travel, is accredited by IATA. IATA is the International Air Transport Association. We also hold accreditations with the ASTA, which is the American Society of Travel Advisors, as well as the Association of Black Travel Professionals. Okay, so here in Explorable Travel, we are very big on education, ongoing education, to make sure that, number one, we're staying up to date on the latest things that's happening in the travel industry, because something is always going on in the travel industry daily. And then also, too, to make sure that we can provide the best experience, guidance, education to you, my clients, because you are valuable. And I want to make sure that what I'm telling you is actually up to date, and it's not something that it occurred, umpteen years ago. So let's get into tonight's topic. So if you could predict, tonight's topic is about traveling to Africa. And you might be like, okay, well, why? Why should I travel to Africa, Zandra? I have no interest in traveling to Africa. Well, let me tell you a little bit about why I think that you should travel to Africa if you are a woman of color, okay? Especially if you are a Black woman. So I don't know about you, but in the chat, let me know, when you are around, when you can be yourself without judgment, how do you act? How do you respond? And what I mean by that is, what is your daily routine? How do you act when you compare it to, if I ask you, okay, how do you respond compared to being in home or at the office? How do you act? Let's say, if I say, if you heard certain type of music, would you play that music only at home, or you wouldn't play it in the workforce? So I will use myself as an example. So me, I'm naturally loud, right? So usually people don't have to tell me, could you please raise your voice, right? I'm naturally loud. I've been that way since a child, okay? So throughout my upbringing and throughout my career, I have to be mindful, because I speak loud. When I'm in certain settings, I have to kind of decrease my volume, right? Because to others, it may come across that I'm yelling when I'm not actually yelling. That's just who I am. Okay, that's one thing. Number two, I love music, okay? Any type of genre of music, if I hear the beat, I'm going to start swaying. I'm going to start dancing. I'm going to have me an excellent time. That's just who I am, okay? I love music. I always love music from a kid, okay? My hips will just start moving, and that's me. I'm in heaven, okay? And then I love to laugh, right? So if someone says something that's funny, or anything that's really, what I'm saying, that's going to make me giggle, I will laugh. And sometimes it's uncontrollably, where I cannot stop it. But that's me. Those common traits or characteristics that I just explains me, Zandra, right? And I'm able to be that way mostly when I'm around my family and when I'm around my friends. Now, when I go into certain settings, what do you think happens? Put in the chat. What do you think happens, right? Can I be the unapologetic, the unfiltered Zandra, right? In some settings, that might be a little bit too much or too extra, right? In other settings, that might be acceptable, right? So the reason why I created the community Explorable Travel is because I know, as women of color, a lot of times when we talk too loud, when we dance too much, when we just have a good time cutting a rug, people kind of give you the side eye and be like, why they got to do all that? You know what I'm saying? Why they got to be that loud? Why they got to talk so much? Okay. It ain't that funny. They still laughing about it, but it could be, it's just you, right? It's wired in your DNA. So it's not you being anything extra, right? You just being you. Do you feel me? If you can feel me, drop it in the comments. So let me know that I'm talking to the right people. That's just me. So in life, what I realize is I'd rather be myself than be anybody else. It's so easy being yourself, but when you have to pretend, right? You have to put up facades, and you got to be fake, and you got to basically change yourself into something else. It's hard, right? So me, I made a promise to myself. I want to be Zandra. So I want to be Zandra. When I vacation, I want to be able to talk loud as I want to, laugh loud as I want to, enjoy myself, be me, dance or can't dance. I might know the line dance. I might not. Who cares? But I'm going to enjoy myself and be me. So that was the reason why I created this community, because I wanted other women that was like me and unlike me to come together and to create this space where we can just be us unapologetically, without no judgment, without no people rolling their eyes and saying, sis, you're doing too much. No, I'm not doing enough. Okay. So listen, sis, exploring the roots of our heritage is more than just a vacation. Let's be clear. It is more than a vacation. It's a spiritual journey. It's a reconnection to our ancestors' homeland. Okay. So what happened in Alabama to me was so monumental, because it basically, like, the ancestors, they are awakened. Okay. They were shaken. Okay. Based on the events that has happened. Okay. But as women of color, we often feel a longing, right? It's like we always want to feel that connection as to where do we belong, okay? Where did we come from, okay? All of those things kind of have us longing for something, have us seeking for something, have us aspiring to be something more, to give more, to be more, to show up more, to be the phenomenal woman that we are, okay? And it shapes us, right? Because of our history, because of our culture, because of the things that we've been through, because of the things that our ancestors have been through, right? So it has made us into this person that we are. So 5 reasons why women of color should want to visit Africa if you have not. And I almost forgot about something. If you've actually visited the motherland, could you let me know? Okay, so people say, I want to go to Africa. So as you may know, mostly everybody know, Africa is the continent, right? And there are many countries that are in Africa, right? So when you think of Africa, what is one country that comes to mind? Drop it in the chat and let me know. When somebody says Africa, what country comes to mind? Okay. And then we are going to speak a little bit on some of those countries. And then we're going to dive in deeper into this topic throughout the series of this month, because if you may know or you may not know, this month is Black Business Month. Okay. So as you know, at Explorable Travel, we are a woman-owned Black business. Okay. But if you have not supported a Black business for the month of August, make sure you do so. Okay. It's very important, especially when you circulating your dollars, in your local community. But for small business owners, it's helpful, as well as for women of color, it's helpful. Okay. So some countries that come to mind when you think of visiting Africa: Ghana, Nigeria. Okay. And what other countries come to mind? You may say Ethiopia. You may say Egypt. There's so many, right? Where are we going at next year? Tanzania or Tanzania? There's so many countries that come to mind. So the 5 reasons why you want to visit the motherland is: number 1, rediscover your identity. Number 2, cultural reconnection. Number 3, community and belonging. Number 4, empowerment and inspiration. And then 5, something that we should be working on a daily basis, is personal growth, right? All of those are reasons why you should want to visit Africa, and why travel to Africa should be important to you. So I got me some notes. So sometimes I will be kind of looking at my notes, and that's what I'm doing. Okay. So number 1 is discovering your identity, and why that's important. Do you ever wonder, like, if things were different, where you would be? If things didn't happen like they happened, and we are not, if today could change, where would you be? Right? These are some of the thoughts that I always have running in my head. If slavery didn't happen, where would I be? Okay. What would I be doing? What type of person would I have developed to be? Would I be in the same career? Would I be the same person? Right? These are some questions that just come to mind. So when you are visiting countries like I mentioned, Africa, when you are visiting Africa, the countries in Africa, such as Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, you want to immerse yourself in the culture, because it gives you a better understanding, and then it resonates with your essence. And then also too, you can hold on to the stories that your ancestors experience firsthand, okay, by being there in that place. And then it helps us to understand our identity. So it's something about going back to a place where you came from that just does something to your soul. It awakens you, right? It gives you purpose. It's like, oh my goodness. The feeling is so nostalgic, right? It's like, oh my gosh, like you have a sense of belonging, you understand your purpose, you understand that there's something more that you are meant to do, right? So that's why it's always important. Like people who are either relocated at birth and then they are like searching for their birthplace or their birth parents, just making that connection just does something to them. And then they realize, okay, this is why I exist. This is why I feel the way I feel. This is why I'm having all these feelings, right? It's really big because basically, if you don't know where you came from, how can you go forward? I'm gonna say that again. If you don't know where you came from, how can you move forward? Okay. Number two, cultural reconnection. So, of course, when we travel, we want to sightsee. Okay. Sightsee. That's the first thing. But it's just more than sightseeing. When you're traveling to sightsee, but for other things as well. So, when I did the Dream Tech Challenge in February, we talked about the senses. Okay. So, when you go to a place, yeah, you want to sightsee, but it's bigger than that. You want to be able to touch, you want to be able to feel, you want to be able to taste, right? You want to be able to hear. All these things really do something to you as a person when you are in the environment and you can immerse yourself in the culture. So, what do I mean about that? The local food, okay? Your taste buds just becoming exciting, tasting the different flavors from a different region or different area. What about hearing the dialect and the languages, okay? The music, that does something to your body. That awakens your soul. Or seeing the historical sites. So like in Africa, the slave forts, right? So when we were either taken from our homes and we were sold, they took us to the slave forts, right? And when you go through these slave forts, if you listen to people give you their experience and recount what they went through and their feelings and their ups and downs, it really changes you as a person. Most of the time, it just broadens your understanding about just what us as a people went through and what even to this day, what we still are going through. But then it kind of awakens you too and saying, okay, well, what's my purpose? What do I need to do about this? And then the ancient kingdoms, right? So there are so many beautiful sites and buildings and things that were once magnificent and was once sparkled, and through time it has changed, right? But then it lets you know that this is where you came from. Okay, this is your lineage. Okay, you came from kings and queens. Okay, so that right there should just do something to you. You'd be like, oh my gosh, you should feel better with just that one statement. And then also traveling to Africa, it helps you absorb the heritage because despite what we see in the textbook, despite what we see on a movie, despite what we see in a documentary, someone telling it to us, right? It's been passed on, history by history, generation by generation. Nothing, nothing conveys you actually being there. Okay. So no textbook, no movie, no film, no documentary, no recounting for somebody who traveled there and said, listen, sis, listen, bro, you got to listen to my story. And if you listen to my story, then you will know why you should travel to Africa. No matter how great a storyteller they are, no matter how good they are at visually telling a story, it's nothing like experiencing that for yourself. Okay. So that should be number one reason why you want to visit Africa, is to be able to experience for yourself so we can hear your story. We can see it through your lens. We can hear it through you. You can tell us how you feel throughout the whole entire experience. Nobody can do that for you. I don't care how close they are. It won't be like you when you told it. Now, if you still follow along with me, I want you to drop 100, okay? Because I know this topic is deep, it's different, and some people are ready for it, and some people may not be ready for it. But it's my job as a travel educator and travel expert to make sure that I share and that I educate. Because a lot of times, what we've heard about Africa has been so bad, okay? People have made us hate it, made us not want to travel to it, made us look up, like toot our nose in the air, like, it's beneath us. And that it's not true. So I have to convey the message out to as many people as possible to let you know why it's so important for you to visit Africa. Why the next time when you think about traveling, that you consider Africa as your number one choice. It's so many countries here in Africa, and I just want you to visit one, at least one in your lifetime. Now, the next thing is about community and belonging. Okay. And y'all know I'm big on community. So if you have not had the opportunity to join our community, we have an awesome community in our private Facebook community called the Blue Squad Travel Group. And in there is where we just share, we talk about travel, it's all things travel. Okay. Sometimes it's not travel, but it's a community made of like-minded individuals. Okay. Like-minded individuals who we understand that we want to travel, and we understand that some people have traveled a lot and some people have not traveled at all, but we are there for each other despite where you are at in your journey. You can be at the beginning, you can be at the middle, or you can be at the end. We are there with you. We are pulling you up. We are here to help you so that you can get to whatever destination that you want to get to. So I'm real big on community. So this one right here really touches me, community and belonging. So once you're there, being able to participate in traditional ceremonies, okay, festivals. Um, I'm always big on when you travel to a destination, I always learn a few keywords from that territory. Okay. So if you're traveling to Africa, like for us, we're going to Zanzibar next year, and that trip is still open. If you're available and you want to travel with us, just send me a message. Learn a few Swahili terms, okay, a few phrases, okay. No matter where you travel at, do that for yourself, okay, so that you can feel the connection and that you can actually know, okay, this is the native tongue, this is the language that they speak, okay. And then it fosters a sense of belonging and connection, and it's hard to find anywhere else. So when you travel to a place and you connect with the people and you see, how they congregate, how they go about, doing daily life, how they cook, how they clean, how they educate the people, in their home, outside their home, the community, the role and the presence the elders play, how they help each other. You're staying in this village and everybody may be related, or you might have some people who are not related, but how they protect each other and how they help each other and how they build each other up. That's all what community is about. Community is about building each other up, empowering each other. When you're having a bad day, we're giving you grace and saying, hey, it didn't work out today, but listen, sis, later on today, it's going to get better. Okay, a sign is going to come through. Something great is going to happen, and it's going to transform you, right? So that's what community is about. So when you're traveling to the motherland, just envision you being there amongst the locals, being able to immerse yourself in the culture, okay? Being able to hear the native tongue, being able to hear the drums, okay? Imagine you seeing the people out there dancing, okay? They invite you to dance as well, okay? They teach you a dance that is popular to them, and now they introduce that to you, okay? They teach you the history behind it, and why when people start doing this, the different acts that you may see, why is this person, what I'm saying, yelling or screaming or being thankful or being grateful, or just is very happy and exuberant, right? Because it's their testimony, okay? You see all these things and you get to experience it when you go to different parts of the country, but particularly in Africa. And then empowerment and inspiration. Who in here needs to feel empowered? Come on. Drop it down and let me know. Who needs to feel empowered? Who needs to feel inspired? Right? All of us. Okay. We all go through days. We all have our ups and downs. We all have our good days. We all have our bad days. We all have a day where we like, listen, I just want to start over again. Like, can I stop the alarm clock? Can I go back to bed and can I do this all over again? Okay. If you can relate, drop it in the chat. I want to see that I'm just not talking to myself. Okay. Because we all been there. So some of you know that I'm sharing my story. So for the month of August, I've begun sharing my story about my personal upbringing as well as the birthing of Explorable Travel, because I think that's important. I think it's important for you to know me as a person, but then also to know why the business exists. Like, why are you here? Okay. There are 5011 travel agents. There are 5011 travel companies. Why did you decide to make this business a go for you? Like, what was it? Right. So you'll be hearing my story. You'll be hearing some of my secrets. You'll be hearing some of the negative moments that I've had. You'll be hearing some of the positive moments that I've had, because I want you to know that, number one, if I can do this, you can do this. If you have a passion for something, if you have a dream about something, and if you know you have what it takes, it's going to be difficult. You're going to have some days where you want to throw in the towel. You're going to have some days that, things that are not working out and you're questioning, why am I doing this? But when you have a calling and when you have a purpose and you know it's in your gut, you can't quit. Okay. You know that your message, your mission is bigger than you, and you got to get out of your own way. And sometimes it's hard getting out of your own way, right? So you'll be hearing my story throughout this month where I'm sharing with you why I decided to start this company and why it is so endear to me and why it's so important and why I want the whole world to know about it. So empowerment and inspiration. So the journey to Africa can fuel you and it can inspire you, right? And you say, well, how, Zandra? Well, once you actually make it to any destination, let's be clear. Number one, once you accomplish something, it does something to you, because it gives you enough of energy and it gives you enough of where you're like, you know what? If I did that, then I can do this, right? So it propels you. Once you accomplish something, you're like, okay, I did it. Didn't think I was going to do it, but I did it. And you're like, okay, I got this. So it helps you in that way. Then also, too, it inspires you, right? So anytime that I travel to another destination, I always like to go to a local community because I see something that reminds me to be grateful and to be transparent. And it kind of checks my soul to say, okay, there's still more that you can do. There's still more that you can do. So when you see people in different destinations, some of the things that they do to make a living, some of the conditions that they live in, and you have a bad day and you want to complain, and then your mind just takes you back to that moment that you had, and you say, how dare I complain? How dare I say that the life that I have been worked for or been given or been privileged to, how dare can I even speak and complain when there is someone else somewhere else in more worse conditions than myself, right? So it checks you. So it makes you humble. It makes you grateful. It makes you more appreciative. And then it gives you what you need to say, okay, I can do more. How can I give back? How can I help my community? How can I help the local community? Okay, what can I do in my own backyard, in my own neighborhood, right? So that's why it's so important to travel, because it really just, the lenses, okay, the scales will fall off. They will fall off slowly by slowly once you actually see what somebody else is going through, and it makes you be so more appreciative of your life. And then also, It makes you more of a supporter. So if that's supporting a local woman-owned business, or if that is investing in educational programs, our travels can serve as a force of good. And then lastly, personal growth and development, which is a big one to me. I don't know about you, but I always try to aspire, and my prayer to God is that I be better than I was yesterday. That in some way I learn something more, I do something more, I touch someone, I'm able to be a better person than I was yesterday. That's my prayer every day. Okay. Be the better Zandra. Be the best Zandra that you can be. She's in basketball practice. Sorry about that, y'all. Um so what this does with traveling here, it leads to profound personal growth and development. And then also self-understanding. You may feel like you're missing a piece. Like, I still just don't feel whole. I still don't know my purpose. I still don't know why I feel like this. I don't know why I have this longing. I don't know why, even though I accomplished all the things, I have all these accolades, I have all these degrees, these certifications, this experience, this knowledge, I still feel like it's not enough. Okay. If you are feeling that way, right? It's like there's a void and you're just trying to figure out, how can I fill this void? How can I just get this void to be gone? Like, I've done everything, right? It could be you need to travel to Africa. If you're a woman of color, it could be you need to travel to Africa. Okay. It could be that you need to do something else different, right? It's going to be different from each person, but your psyche, your body could be talking to you and telling you, I want you to do this. I want you to go there. I want you to travel there. I want you to join the trip next year with this global travel to Zanzibar. I want you to see that the things that they've told you is not all true. I want you to see that there's life there and it's abundant. I want you to see that good things are happening, right? So a lot of times we've been fed these stories and told these things, and we be so clouding our own judgment. We wonder how we got there. Well, it's through conditioning, it's through all the years of seeing the negative press and the negative media and the negative publicity and the bad images of all the, the trash and the build up and everything. Let's be clear, for most places, that exists everywhere. I can take you to some places in the US where you will see that at, and you'd be like, this is the United States of America. Yes. Okay. But they show you certain things to prevent you from going there. So in your mind, you're thinking, oh, it's so horrible. The whole entire place looks like this. How dare I travel there? When you don't know, because you have not took the time to experience it. So all I'm asking for you to do is to try it. Give it a try to see for yourself what your experience will be. And then connecting there is connecting with your roots, which can help you. It can heal you. It can make you more joyful. Okay. It can give you a renewed sense of purpose. And you know what your purpose is in life by visiting the motherland. So that wraps up our topic tonight for Talk Travel to Me Tuesday. So, girl, so sis, if you ain't talking about vacationing to this soul stirring destination, then what you talking about? Because I'm inviting you to come travel with us for an experience that you will never believe. And you'll be with sisters that are there to help you, encourage you, empower you, uplift you. But you got to take the first step. So I'm asking you, are you willing to take the first step? Are you willing to get out of your own way and just say, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'm apprehensive. I'm scared. I'm unsure. But get out of yourself and join us for our group trip next year in August in 2024 to Zanzibar. It's been my absolute pleasure to be with y'all on this Tuesday night. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Make sure if you catch this on replay, you hashtag replay. Make sure you share. And again, I'm Zandra Sexton Holmes, the CEO and founder of Explosive Travel. We curate epic experiences for women of color who are busy and successful. Through our experiences, we transform you to relaxed, relieved, and revived. We provide 3 bespoke services, which includes group trips, personalized trip planning, and lastly, business retreats. If you need help in any of these services, contact us for a complimentary consultation. I hope y'all have an amazing Tuesday night, and I will talk to you this Friday where we talk about our Zanzibar Zest series. Y'all be blessed, okay? Bye bye.